Coach, general thoughts on the 90?
General thoughts, well, look, everyone knows our problems since the start of the season. I think we've been a team that plays good football. We've created chances. Every game we're in, we're an attacking threat. But that's sort of come at the expense of leaking goals. So we've had an issue, and then we come to a place where a team full of superstars and big money players and a massive gap in class, and we've set up a different way, and I think we're really unfortunate not to come away with at least a point in the game. And I've just said to the players in there, I think they're incredibly unlucky. I think the effort they put in today was big, considering the position we're in, to come here and to really limit them. I think us and them probably had 3 real shots on target each, and we kept quite a few of their big players quiet for the majority of the game. We had chances ourselves.
You guys were compact for 75 minutes, really made them work hard to earn that goal. Were you satisfied with the way the team set up in that 4-5-1 and how they executed?
I don't think there was any danger. I think coming in at half-time there was no danger. I didn't feel there wasn't any real scary moments in terms of what they created. I think we defended a lot better. I think that individually they defended a lot better, and as a group they defended better. So coming in at half-time, it was a case of us of staying in the game as long as possible. There was a couple of situations that we felt we could create some chances ourselves, and I think there was just that spell in the second half right before the goal where we were pinned back a little bit too much. But look, defensively I thought we were a lot better.
You mentioned that having a couple opportunities going forward, but this is only the second time you guys have been held scoreless. What didn't go right in attack tonight?
Well, I think we every game we played in, we've created chances, we've scored goals. In games we've scored quite a few goals. I think we're quite high up in the league in terms of chances created and chances on goal. And as I said, that's been at the expense of us being very open and having weaknesses in other areas. And I think I think this is another game where I hear a lot of people around the place and media and these types of things talk about where we're at. It's almost like people see us as on the same level as Atlanta, and or on the same level as Orlando and all these other teams that, or DC. People think we're on the same level, but the reality is, I think every game we played in, it's been the DPs, it's been the big money players up front that are making the difference. I think every game we played in, and people think we have those players and we don't. And I think today was just another example of the real golfing class. I think every single game we're playing against teams and their DPs are making a difference. People think we are on the same level, we're not. So yes, we've compromised our attack slightly today because we've had to come here and get a result. And I think actually the approach was right. I think the approach worked, and I think in the end we're unfortunate. I think the bad thing, when this is compounded with where we've come from, it's tough. But the actual performance today was strong.
Let's talk about a bright spot. Seb Anderson, 16 years old, comes in. What do you make of his performance?
Look, I've been really impressed with him since he's been in with us. He was always going to make his debut because he's first of all, he's a good player. He's a good player, and he's a strong character for a young kid. He was the least of my worries tonight in terms of how he would handle it. So we were very, very pleased. He had a big performance for a young kid. He had a big performance. I think he can be very proud, and I think we've got a really, really good young player there who has just put on a performance in front of a big crowd, in front of big opposition, and I think he should be proud of himself.
Does it feel like there's something missing from the team, offensively or defensively, that full 90 minutes? What do you feel like is lacking, or is it what you mentioned before?
I think What's missing? Well, look, apart from the obvious, which no one ever talks about, we are a team that is very much. This is a slow rebuild. That's the bottom line. You know, people think that we've taken over a team that was up the top of the league every year and competing for the championship. I think in the last 5 years, the team's been second from bottom, third from bottom. You know, we had 1 year Pablo did an incredible job and got the team to the championship, 2016. But either side of that, the 2 years either side of that, the team's been down the bottom. This is going to take time. The only way it's going to be a quick fix is if you wave a magic wand at it and throw lots of money at it. Clearly, we're not doing that. And, you know, I'll go back to this. Every single game we go into, whether it's Nani, whether it's Rooney, whether it's Acosta, whether it's every single week, whether it's today, whether it's Schweinsteiger, every single week there's players in this league that are making a difference, and the gap in quality is huge. We are a team very much, as you can see from recent history in the last 5 years, we're a team that is really, if this was a promotion and relegation league, we would have been relegated by now. But we're certainly a team that's down the bottom, and we're fighting to compete every single week. I think today was an example. I mean, listen, you can say what's going wrong and what's missing. We've just come to Atlanta, and probably most games really, other than one or two, Orlando, these types of games where we've been in games and we're competing, and it's just every single, like today, there's just teams with a little bit more quality than us. Well, I would say a lot more quality than us, and that's what we're competing against. But no one talks about it.
So then how do you overcome that and get the results that, you know, we have talked about with playoffs and that kind of thing?
I just think it's going to take time, Abby. I think changing a team that was where we picked it up, which was down the bottom of the league. We still have several players that are being paid that are not actually with us, not actually here. I think potentially we're the only team with one DP who's in goal and not 2 or 3 up front. You know, that's going to take a bit of time to address that situation. And we have to find we are fighting to down the bottom with a bottom group of players, and we have to find a way to pick up results, whilst also being a team that tries to play a certain way. And we just have to find that balance. And I think today was an example of something that we've had to change in terms of what's gone on. It made sense. It made sense to all of us. We had to do it, and the reasons we did it were why I've explained.
So we've seen a team today where the defense played really well. We've also seen a team that can score goals. So what's the next step to kind of start balancing that out?
I think Abby, I think you see at the end of the game, when we had all our attacking players on the pitch, actually we looked the most open, and I think that's where in that sort of last 25, 30 minutes, up until then we were compact, we were strong, we were organised, we had chances of our own. And I think when we had all our attacking players on at the end, we looked very open, and it's where the goal came from, and so we just have to find the balance. But again, it's, people like you're never going to write about, which I understand, you're never going to write about the reality of where we are in relation to other teams. So, we just keep working, keep building the team, and I think the players need to be very proud of what they did today.